Fam, y'all ain't gonna believe I've been doing the show for like 3 minutes and I just realized that we wasn't even taping. Y'all done missed all the good stuff in 3 minutes. I gave like some dope stuff, and of course I can't repeat it. What's happening? It's the 6th of August. It's 6:03 now. There I go, Mo. So let me do this right quick. Let me add Mo to the screen.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's that? So
hey man, I was in the room, man. I ain't hit the button, man. So
I didn't even hit record, but I just been talking. I'm like, damn, why ain't nothing happening? But since Mo showed up and he missed the intro, let me just go on and say, center number one is here. Because I left these cats alone by themselves last week, and I keep trying to tell y'all that I'm the good one. And I thought I erroneously thought it might have been Mo, but I ain't seen the whole show yet. But I caught clips of last week's show, and all I'm gonna say is between Mo, Mark, and Jomo, them three can't never be left with just each other again. Never.
Hey man, that was a good show, man. I don't know, man. We just off the top, maybe it was a good show, man.
It was not off the top, over the top, and I was like, "What in the hell?" I'm the one who I thought I needed supervision. Clearly,
hey, this is random thought, and so we did the random thing.
Clearly, three brothers who I thought erroneously, so I caught like I came in on the middle because I was in a car, so I said, let me see, see if they doing anything. And I saw him, what's up, Chris? I saw him on there, and I heard him, I was like, these dudes is really, first of all, they're having way too much fun. That's first of all. Second of all, they was having way too much fun.
Yeah.
Third of all, I don't know where Roy was, but there needed to be an adult in the room. Because clearly they were lacking adult supervision.
Yeah, no, it was fun, man.
There needed to be somebody in the room who was going to be responsible. And it's crazy, y'all. Mo called me yesterday. He didn't say a word. So about 12 o'clock today, Joe called snitching on everybody. What's up, Mel? Hey.
Joe like that? I didn't know Joe was like that, man.
And then Joe, first he played the innocent card. Then Joe said, no, I'm going to throw me in there too. I'm telling on myself too. I said, no, Joe. I said, first you threw everybody else up under the bus. I said, but the clip I caught was with all three of y'all shenanigan in it. What's up, Mel? You gonna shoot me on my lie to get away in my inbox before the show gets started, or you just gonna come on and you gonna pop one on the show? What's up? Mel is she's showing up and showing out. I'm hoping them fist bumps she give me and not punches to the jaw. But I ain't never really sure with her. You know what I'm saying?
Them look solid.
You want to come on, Roy? Oh, you know how to put yourself on though. See, I don't know why Roy's here now. He should have been here last week when they was acting up because they needed some supervision in the worst way.
Now Roy is cool, but we didn't need Roy. Roy is cool, but we didn't need him.
Mel said they punch it. She punched it. I mean, we having abuse on the show. What is going on?
Oh, but see, I told you, man, that things look solid.
And I wasn't even here, and I'm getting abused because last week, like I say, good googly moogly, them boy, I'm surprised the FCC ain't said nothing to me. I'm surprised Zuckerberg ain't called me. Hell, at the rate they were going last week, I'm surprised Donald Trump ain't after us. You know what I'm saying? They were just off the chain.
You're gonna get sanctions, brother. You're gonna get sanctions.
No. See, you know what I told you? I said there are very few times in life when I can plead innocent, not guilty, just innocent. Last week, I was innocent, totally innocent. But if they show up at my door, I'm giving them 3 names. 3.
Hey, you know what though? See, I don't snitch, man. I'm just gonna say all I'm gonna say. I don't snitch, man. All I'm gonna say is somebody asked us to do that show. I don't know who. Somebody did though.
Okay, so now he throwing Ron under the bus.
No, that was you. You said Roy.
so now he throwing Ron under the bus. And the crazy thing is, it's the crazy thing. See, Mo showed up to take his, Joe and Mark ain't nowhere to be found. They ain't even in the comment section. They probably just somewhat chilling, ain't even gonna check in because it's like, cause see, it wants something about it. There's video proof of this now. And according to Facebook, it's gonna be there for 30 days.
Documented.
And I just like, man, these dudes. So, as I was saying, since we're talking about getting banned and stuff like that, I'm always amazed how we love to believe in conspiracy theories about everything that involves us, which is I'm confused about because it seems like, and I was listening to some people and they was talking about Malcolm Jamal Warner, and they was talking about, and it's crazy how they throw everybody in there. Then of course you throw R. Kelly in there, you throw Prince in there, you throw the guy from not Power, whatever that show was, the guy who got beat up while trying to get a Subway sandwich at 4 a.m. with no job, and everything is a conspiracy against us. And to me, it's kind of crazy. Oh, and the carnival thing. Now carnival don't want black people. And, one day I hear y'all saying we ain't got no power, we don't own nothing. Then another day I hear y'all saying we got to use our power and yada, yada, yada. So I'm just trying to figure out which one is it first, because I'm confused. Because me personally, you don't have to own something to have, you don't have to own this to have power. See, power comes in many forms and it comes in many ways. See, like our kids have power. When a baby cries, people respond to it. They try to get their baby whatever their baby needs to stop crying. See, that's a power tool. That's a powerful tool. Mo has power. He had choices whether or not he wanted to come on this show today. There was nothing that was forcing him to do it. Nothing. When Mo want to watch TV, Mo has the power to watch whatever he wants to. This ain't like Russia or China where if he cut the TV on, he can only watch state-sanctioned TV. And I'm confused. And to the best of my knowledge, Mo don't own no TV station. He don't own a radio station. He don't own none of this stuff, but he got the power to choose what he want to watch. He got the power to choose where he wants to spend his money. So I'm confused on why it is we think we have to own a Carnival cruise ship to have power to get on it or not book with them. But then y'all claim power when y'all want to shut Target down because Target did something y'all didn't like, which is amazing to me. Because now y'all got power when it comes to doing something that, okay, it's going to affect Target's bottom line. And I'm okay with that, whatever y'all reason is. But when you say you're going to start boycotting Target, and this is all I've asked y'all to do, when y'all come with these conspiracy theories and these plans, go to your local Target and see how many people look like you are working there. And then remember, when you boycott, those are the people you're hurting the most. See, the CEO that's making $20 million a year, well, he gonna get $20 million a year. He just ain't gonna get his Christmas bonus of 15. But that little kid, that old lady who making barely above minimum wage, trying to get 20, 30 hours a week, now you cut them down to 10 or 15, 5, or maybe none. See, when we strike, when we boycott, when we start excluding places, we're only hurting the middleman. I'm sorry, we're only hurting the man at the bottom of the totem pole. That's it. And I'm gonna pick something that's near and dear to me. And didn't you start watching football? Did you start watching football?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And Mo is a fact-driven guy. He's a statistician. And remember when all of us stopped watching football because of number 7 and all the other stuff? And I didn't stop watching. But anyway, remember when everybody planned to stop watching?
It not happened.
But no, something did happen.
Yeah.
Attendance and revenue went up.
Yeah.
Each year for like 2-3 years. And it's crazy because what we missed, and I tried to test people this. One, most of us didn't support the NFL on the financial way in the first place. So us not going to something we ain't never been had no effect.
Right.
But what it did do for those that did have something and they decided they didn't want to go no more, it allowed these people to come because they thought, hey, they ain't going to be there. We can have fun.
Yeah.
So they just got our tickets. They paid the new market price. And guess what? See, some of y'all had season tickets. Y'all had that price, I don't know what they cost, but y'all had that price of $500 a year. But when NFL was selling for $1,200, when you dropped out, you allowed them to make $700 more. See, so in your blind way to punish them, you rewarded them because they was more than happy to let y'all go. They weren't sending out letters saying, please come back, because they made more money with everybody who left. The attendance, not just revenue, but the overall attendance increased. And, and I was telling people, again, when you go to a sporting event, it's the vendors who lose money when we decide to stop showing up, not the NFL. The NFL got guaranteed contracts. They got contracts for ESPN, ABC, NBC, all these little networks that show them. These are guaranteed contracts. So guess what? If don't nobody show up, the NFL get paid.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
they get paid.
They already got the money.
It's already there. I want to say they just signed a 10-year, $100 billion contract or something like that. There's nothing you can do to slow them down for the next 10 years.
Nothing. Only I think, and it's just my opinion. It's kind of an opinion, but it's got some fact in it. Only thing I think is that it will have an impact on the next time the negotiations come around, right? When the commercial comes and says, "Hey, we want to put a commercial on the NFL," then maybe at that time the price goes down. But if you already paid for your 12-month package, that's done. That money is done.
And the reason I don't even think that's going to happen is because attendance is going up. So the more people to watch, the more they can charge for commercials. So right. The commercials ain't got no cheaper because attendance is up. So it's more people at games. The Nielsen ratings say that there's more people watching games, whether that's true or not. So again, but when you boycott Target, all the salaried people get paid. The hourly people who look like you and me, they're the ones who lose out. And I just want us to have more a better understanding. The thing with Carnival, and Carnival only said in politically correct ways, they don't want no more niggas on their ship. They didn't say they didn't want black people, because guess what? I think me and Mo was having this discussion yesterday. See, white people don't like crackers. Black people don't like niggas. Nobody likes either one of them. And when they show up, they mess up everything. The colors want to show up and be loud and yelling and screaming. And Carnival is a family ship. Y'all want to show up in G-string bikinis and stuff because y'all paid y'all money. Oh, they picking on you. It's a family event. They expect you to know that this is a family affair and dress accordingly.
And one of the things is with that right there, DVP, man, I go through some different emotions when things like that happen, because if I see those things, if I'm somewhere and black people are wilding out, I'll go through a couple different emotions. First, I'll be angry, then I'll be mad because you're making our people look bad, and there's nothing I can do about it. People can be who they want to be, right? I got no control over that, but I just think there should be some, I don't know, there's street code, right? You do stuff in the street, man, it's gonna come back and get you. There should be something like that in society where if you act stupid, you get a fine or something, man. You got to get something, So you get a black ticket, man. Here's your black ticket, man. It's $300. Pay your black ticket or something.
You already know we ain't gonna hold each other accountable. But Philip says, how do black folk organize a grassroots level without hurting the labor class? Again, you do it like they did the bus boycott. You can't do them overnight. You have to sit down and have a plan. Black people want to do knee-jerk shit. And we do knee-jerk shit. We hurt each other, and then we start calling each other names because everybody can't support it. See, so if we want the lower class, and this is who is always affected, the lower class. So if we want them to support something, then we have to have jobs that pay for them so that they can still do their thing. These people who can't afford their medicine, these kids who trying to graduate from high school, who want to do something special like get a classroom or go on a field trip, we can't just keep ignoring them. And that's how we end up losing out, because those are the ones that we're hurting. Because you're not hurting none of target management. Like I say, their salary.
So
their salary.
And that's a good question, Philip. And I got a lot of different philosophies on this, but I'm just going to say this one for now. Well, I think it's tonight, or we probably already missed it, but Lotto's tonight, right? I guarantee you there's a group of black folks somewhere putting all their money together so they can get that lottery ticket. All right. So if we can do that, that means we have grassroots capability. So because that's a good point. It's got to start at the grassroots because you can't depend on the 1% class of black people to help the grassroots level black folks. That just don't happen. So you can't keep pointing at people saying, I wish they would, I wish they would. That's not gonna happen because once you get to a certain economic status, my opinion is you become boxed into a class. It's no longer black. You're not longer black, white, this and that. Y'all remember how when Bill Cosby was at the top of the game, nobody looked at Bill Cosby as a black man. He was in a class, man. So he was and then same thing happened with OJ. They were in classes, right? But then when they fell, they became black then, right? Y'all remember that? They became real black.
So, and we got to look at who becomes black when they fall, but on the rise up, they ain't black. But when they fall, we the first group to want to pick them up.
Come to the picnic, yeah.
Oh, they picking on you. And the crazy thing to me is the people who cried the most are doing the least for us, but we jump to their rescue. We jump to their rescue. And it's like black-owned companies went out of business after the boy. Right, because guess what? We weren't supporting them either. See, we want to rally against the establishment, but when we do it, it's
Right.
Who do we support when we change our ways? We support each other.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. So that's the whole thing. They were gonna them companies were bleeding slow anyway. I was a small business owner, and I'm gonna tell you, my business, so this could be, you could just say I'm speaking from my own perspective, but I think my business was like 10 times better than an equivalent business. Yet I didn't have the marketing, I ain't had the money, I didn't have all the other stuff and the accolades to get people's attention like the bigger businesses, right? So that's what happens. You hurt the smaller black businesses first, right? Because y'all ain't most people ain't supporting them anyway. There are some, I have to say, there are some that have substandard service and they don't really match up to what we expect. That happens. But at the same time, I got a personal campaign, my own personal campaign. If I can support a black business, I will. There is no Amazon equivalent, so I can't. Ain't nowhere I can go, man. I got to support the white folks business, But that's a good point, when they're there and they have good quality, there's got to be two things now. You got to have a black business and good quality. I ain't just going to you just because you're a black business, I ain't gonna just hire DVP just because he know how to do something. DVP got to know how to do it well, and he got to be on time. He can't be on black people time. You know what I'm saying? Because and he got to have competitive financial rates. Got to have competitive rates. So all that's got to be in place.
And I'm gonna stop you because I want to be honest here. And this is why I have the hardest time supporting black people. The hardest. Because they want to compare themselves to established name brands. I hate when they say, "Oh, I sell this, but y'all about Jordans." Nike's an established, well-made brand. When you're trying to compete with them with your new line of shoes, you can't compete with them. And this is where we don't understand. When we come in, we love to pimp each other. We don't want to start off at the bottom and work our way up. We want to use the black card to say, hey, we are comparable to them. Based on what metric? Based on what metric? You want me to come to your restaurant, and I'm cool with that. But you want to charge me more, and your reason for charging me more is that your rent is more. So that's not my problem. Because again, in this society, the economic stress is hitting everybody. So why am I paying more for your service? You couldn't afford to start a business. See, Walmart can charge less because they big box. Target can charge less because they're big box and they can order in bulk. Well, Joe can't buy a million pair of shoes at a time. He can only buy 10. So I go to Target where the shoe is $22, but I go to Joe where the shoe is $50. Now, I'm under the same economic stress. So for Joe to try to shame me because I bought a Target shoe and I could have got 2 pairs and still has to change versus the one he had, see, that's what we try to pimp each other and punk each other playing a crazy game. Because when you do your research, if y'all do business research, because I've done this before, you got to make sure that your prices are not competitive with your major competitor, but they're competitive enough that you can get people in. Because the trick is, and I know Joe old enough to remember this, Mo, you probably are too, that most of these name brand places, they didn't come in the market charging, you know, when them Birds and Jays first came, the Birds and the Magic Johnson, when they first came out with them joints was like $20-something. They got more expensive when Jordans first came out. They was $50. They didn't come out at these price tags they are now. It came out affordable. And then as their brand grew, the price grew. But we don't want to do that. We want to just be like, hey, I'm black, buy black. buy Arizona tea from me for $6. Well, you can go in the store and get it for $1. But hey, man, you don't want to support them. You're right. I want to go broke fucking with you. Make that make sense. Joe, you got something to say, brother. You got something to say.
Joe, look at you got that consternation, man. Joe, he was talking about us, man. Listen, I'm telling, man.
Hold on, hey, and you see Joe, hey, you see the USS Enterprise on abandoned Joe, called Joe.
God, dog, man.
You're gonna make me have to bring my ship out. See, I didn't want to blow you all up. That's okay. That's okay.
Again.
Oh man.
Again. But
it's foul, man.
The postulate is interesting. I'm looking at some of the comments, and I think we got to address some of it. Philip Watley, how did Black folks organize at grassroots level without hurting the labor class? Well, I'll get to that. That's a great question. Then he says Black-owned business company went out of business after the boycott. Which boycott is he talking about? And it costs to be competitive. All right, so let's deal with all that. I can only imagine that he's talking about the Birmingham bus boycott, and I don't know that the black bus companies went out of business. I will research that real quick. It costs to be competitive. That is true, and there's also a saying you must know your market. Now, I remember and I'm really telling my age. I remember when Buster Browns and Converse were the shoes to have.
Oh yeah, remember that? Yeah.
You had some Buster Browns. You were doing it.
You on top of your game, baby.
Man, you were an all-star. So the other thing that I think we fail to really take into account in the scheme of businesses, what keeps a business going? Let me make that real quick. Customer service. Now, I'm not gonna say all, but you got to admit that we in our community have a problem with customer service. And it's simple. Because on one hand, you got the businessman that says you all can't come in and expect discounts. And then you got the consumer says you treat me like I'm and I understand both sides. I've seen both sides. But when you go to these other places, unfortunately, do I get better service? And yeah, even though it's still at the lower tier, it's still better than what I was getting from my guys, which, is kind of oxymoronic. In the city of Chicago, right now, in the city of Chicago, there's only one Black bookstore, Black-owned bookstore. When I was coming up, there were minimum. I mean, you could put Citizen, the Black Panther Party newspaper, Muhammad Speaks, and then you had people like Gwendolyn Brooks who lived there. In fact, she lived down the street from me. So we have to look at from another perspective, at least in the city of Chicago. And again, I'm just speaking from what I can see on the ground here. The collapse of the business class, black business class, is intentional. And it's intentional from a lot of angles. I don't want to get too conspiratorial, but I will say this. Just as there's a plan to get rid of us, there's a plan to get rid of our economic strides. If you think I'm going to look what's happening on a national scale, I would challenge anyone on this board to go try to get an SBA loan right now in this climate, see what happens. And believe me, I tell you, I've written loan apps. I've been in the room when certain people of color walked in, and the salespeople walked right past me to them, and I got my
Oh man. Hey, so look, that's amazing. But let me throw this out there too while we're talking about this, because I might have mentioned this on another show, but I'm gonna mention it anyway because I think it's these two things that are they're real poignant to what we're talking about. So first one is I was at the mall one morning. I was just there. It was early in the morning, probably about 9 a.m., right? And so they had I was in the courtyard, right, where they had all the food businesses, about 20 of them. And a white family came in. I'm sitting in the courtyard by myself, just waiting for a store to open. White family came in. It was mom, dad, and little daughter. So then I could hear, I'm in earshot, right? So the mom and dad say, so where you want to eat at? So the little kid looks around. There's Burger King, there's Wendy's, there's Taco Bell. Off to the right, there was a little place called Dorothy and Leroy's. That place started in the hood. It was across the street from where I lived, so I know, and it was deep, man. I'm talking about hood. When I say hood, I mean hood, right? So the little girl said, I want to eat there. And she pointed to Dorothy and Leroy's. And I'm sitting there, man. It just blew my mind. I'm just like, what is going on, man? She passed the Burger King and the fries and Wendy's and all that. So she goes over there. So like again, I'm in earshot, so I can hear what's going on. So she goes over to Dorothy and Leroy's, and there's a older woman there, mature older woman there behind the counter. And the little girl says, hello, I want a number 5. And the older lady, man, this ruined my whole day, man. Older lady said, I don't think the grease hot yet. You're going to have to come back. Man, it was over for me, man. Joe, come on, man. I couldn't. Joe, come on, man. I just was like, what is going on? I looked at my clock again, man, just to make sure it's opening time, man, and the grease ain't hot. How you listen? We was talking about customer service, right? There's no way you can run a business like that. You can't do that, and it goes along the lines of how you treat people when they come in your business. I'll tell you this. I'm gonna say this, man, because this was amazing. I don't know if it was a fluke or a one-time thing, but maybe one of y'all been there. But I went to, man, the name is slipping my place. But I went to the name of the place is slipping my mind. But I went to a place in LA, and they had all the soul food. I forgot the name of it. All the soul food and everything, right? And so I walked in there. I'm thinking, man, this gonna be thugged out. It was kind of like in a little thug area, right? Man, they had the best customer service in the world. The lady came up. She's like, "Hello, how you doing? We'll sit you down. Come on, follow me. Y'all need anything? You want water? This and that." And man, just from that, I was thoroughly impressed because I don't get that all the time. I went into some places, and they like, "What you want?" And I'm like, "Man, with that, I don't want nothing." You know what I mean? I want to go somewhere else. That's what I want. But I don't know if we put enough emphasis on customer service because we could take over. It's easy. I think it would be easier to take over, to take the lion's share of business, of an equivalent business, if you improve your customer service and how you treat people.
Here,
That's what I think.
prime example. If I don't know how many people own Apple, or I've had a Dell, I've had a Lenovo, and now I use Apple. When I bought the Dell, you know, they hyped it up. Oh yeah, I got on the phone line because I needed one immediate, and the lady was saying, "Yeah, we'll do this, give you this." So I get the thing all shiny new. The first week it shuts down. So I call customer service, never get an answer.
Oh wow.
When I finally do get it, say a week and a half later, it's out of warranty. What do you mean it's out of warranty? I didn't want it.
Oh man.
As it turned out, the guy, Dale, who originally bought the company, has now sold it. It's now owned. They're off in Asia somewhere, of course. And customer service is crap. Now, Apple, on the other hand, while you pay a premium, they're always there. They return your calls. They even set up a time for you to talk to them. Customer service. Let me give you this. In our lifetime, gentlemen, I want you to look at the number of Black automobile dealerships in your in your community. Tell me where they are now. And let me help you with that. In the city of Chicago, at one time, we had a Cadillac dealer named Al Johnson. We had an Oldsmobile, the first Black Oldsmobile dealer, first Chevy dealer, like 6 or 7 around within the Black community on the south and west sides. Ask me how many of them exist today.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And that's nationwide. But are we still buying cars though?
Absolutely. So this is another thing that happened, man, where just, I mean, and it's like that superior service wins out all the time. Cause I had to go get my car insured, and there was a business that, you know, I went to, I looked through the phone book. This was phone book time. Some of y'all don't know what the phone book is, huh? You know what the internet is. So I looked through the phone book. I found this is a directory of businesses. I looked through there. I found an insurance company I was going to go to, and I went down there. I got there a little early. I got there probably about 10 of 8. Place open at 8 o'clock, right? Let me tell you, I'm gonna just tell you a few things that the people did that made me a customer for life. So first thing they did, the dude was inside. I could see people in there, you know, but I'm like, it's not 8 o'clock yet. They're gonna open at 8 o'clock. They're gonna open the door at 8 o'clock. So I'm waiting outside. Dude came over, unlocked the door, and said, "Hey, I see you here a little early. Come on in. We'll take care of you. You know, you're the only one here. Come on in. We'll take care of you. You want some water or something? You know, we just turning the computers on." That gesture alone told me everything I needed to know about this business. You know, because that don't happen, right? Y'all know that don't happen, man. If you get customer service like that, you know you're probably gonna stay for a while. And so they took me in, man. I got my insurance and everything, man. And I said, "Yeah, I'm here for life, man. That's it. That was it. That's all it took. Simple."
So
I think you proved my point.
You said something, and I want to address Philip. Before we look and see which businesses went out of business during the boycott, we got to see how they were doing anyway. Because they went out of business doing it, it may not have been the boycott. They may have been going under in the first place.
Right. That's just a stress factor. Boycott was a stress factor.
And sometimes we want to attribute things to unfortunate, either collateral damage or unfortunate situations. But if they were already going under, what did it look like? What did their numbers look like before? So, Joe, you got to be careful about saying which business. I mean, they still may have went out during that time, but is it their fault? I'm sure there are bars that closed during football season. Football season has nothing to do with them closing. They were just a shitty bar before football, and it just happened. So, but again, we're so focused on something that is, to me, and I don't want to say inconsequential. We'll let us tell us ways to hurt us and claim we're hurting the big guy. Because again, you do what you want to. Target ain't shutting down. Walmart ain't shutting down. They ain't. Only thing that happened is they'll keep cutting the lowest worker,
Yep.
which 78% of the time is us.
Yeah, man.
And we have no plan to take care of us. And then we get mad when us has to do to work places that we don't want them to, but we got to eat too. You know, these people got to feed their families. They already struggling. They don't want to work 56 hours a week to make nothing. And then you cut them down to 20 or 30 because you're proving a point. Because, and I've talked to both of these gentlemen about this, you know, we're on the verge of becoming a country of have and have-nots. The have-nots are increasing in number. So when the have-nots, what happens when they become more desperate? You know who, and y'all quote me on this, who is it that the have-nots going to come out the first? They're going to attack in their own neighborhoods. They're going to attack people that look like them. That's just the nature of the beast. So while some blacks will inevitably move up because they end at the bottom of the barrel, but there will be no more middle class soon. So when we're doing these things and we're comparing, we keep talking about conspiracy theories and how they're trying to get over on us. Well, again, if Joe charging me 2.5 times what another place is, who's trying to get over on who? And you know, I went to eat at an Indian restaurant the other day. It's my first time eating there. But he gave me the wrong drink. I ordered one something, he gave me something else. To me, it wasn't a big deal. But guess what? He knocked both drinks off my tab and then gave me a 10% discount. And when people say, oh, you don't ask other place for discount, I don't know where y'all shop, because when I'm buying in bulk, guess what I'm doing first? I'm asking, what's the discount if I buy this many stuff? So sometimes it tells me about your business skills. But Joe said something really clear. You got to know, first of all, you got to know your own clientele, not your friends. Who are you marketing to? What is their income? What do you hope to gain from this? And then make you can't pitch the same people that Nike got. Nike got loyalists. You see every time a Jordan come out, you got people standing in line to get them. That means they have loyal customers. They are waiting for this. Nike knows this. Nike can charge $1,500 for a shoe, and the news can go out in front of damn near any shoe store and show that line is 85% black people. And out of 85% black people that's in that line, I would bet that only 10% are making a hell of a lot of money. Because the ones who make a hell of a lot of money, they pay these people to stand in line. But most of these people standing in line, they've been saving up for this. They don't want your shoe. Your shoe doesn't have the name brand recognition. When people walk in and they got on Jordans or the Air Nikes or the Air Max, people recognize them and give them elite status. When we come in with some Jomo ones, we're like, what the hell is that? Oh, this my partner. This my partner. These issues, Joe Mo's. It's like, oh, you sure you belong here?
Where you make them in Taiwan, man? Them Joe Mo's?
You know Hey, he making them in South Chicago. So that means even less. That means even less.
At least he keeping it domestic. You know what I'm saying?
Taiwan, Illinois.
You know, but you know, we gotta stop. We gotta stop falling for the whole banana and tailpipe trick when it comes from us trying to influence us unduly. Because I mean, I want you to make good decisions, but I know how hard it is to come by money now. And to think that I'm gonna let race be a factor in my money making. See, I don't want y'all to take this wrong way, because I ain't trying to start no race war. I'm not going to a new white business that charges the same as a established place either. But if I got a choice between a new white business and a black business, then yeah. You know, I was talking with my friends. He went to a black smoothie shop the other day. The black smoothie shop charges as much as the white smoothie shop. But when he was asking the lady about her product, she couldn't tell him. And she told him to Google it to see what the best product was for him. Well, damn. So if I want a little kicker energy and I want this, you can't tell me, but you're charging the same as this other place. And here we go. The other place, when you go in there and say, hey, this is what I'm trying to do, they be like, oh, you should try this. They may be wrong as hell, but they sound good saying
it. Hey,
John, but
that's crazy, man. Look, I got to mention this because this is right in line with what we talk about. But y'all look up Vusi Thembekwayo, VUSI. Then his last name is Thembekwayo, THEMBEKWAYO. And look up what he said about Yiddish people. And this is what he said, because I think if just in general you apply this, your people, as a people, you'll be more successful. But what he said was, this is how the Yiddish people do business. They'll do business with each other, right? But they're also buy products outside of the Yiddish community, right? Now, the expectation is that if you buy in from inside the community, you'll get better all around service, meaning price, customer service, everything, response time, everything you get overall. But when that doesn't happen, what they do, instead of the people saying, man, the heck with that business, man, I gotta find somebody else to buy from. Instead of going outside the community, what they do is they ask the owner for a sit down. And then the owner give them a sit down, and they got it set up so that the owner has to take the feedback from the customers, right? So the customers say, listen, man, your product, we want to do business with you. Okay, let's just get that clear right out the gate. But you lacking in a few places, man. Last time I got my bread, man, some of it was moldy, or last time I did this, some of this. So you gotta improve your service. And the owner has to make a commitment to the community to do improvements, and they stay with that business. That is a recipe for success for the community, man. It's amazing, man. That was like, wow, they do that. Because look, sometimes you try to. I don't even tell black businesses, man, how they can improve anymore, because you get yelled at. You get that's what we got today, whatever it is, So I'm like, all right, y'all on your own, man. I tried it. It didn't work out. So good luck.
But I'm glad you brought that up. Let me, in response to that, let me make this somewhat of a statement. You've heard me talk about PTSD before, post-traumatic slave disorder.
Yeah.
Understand that group has a common denominator. That common denominator, well, two common denominators. A, skin color. B, religion.
Yeah.
What are the two things that divide us the most? Skin color and religion.
Yes, sir.
So, if you look at the history of the United States, when the Italians started coming in and they started taking over the gangs in New York kind of stuff, they pushed all the other gangs out. Why? Because they were organized. They had a club, per se, but they let one group in. Let the Jews in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Bugsy Siegel, Jew.
Yeah.
The guy that helped form the commission. And who was that? Do anybody remember his name? He also helped set up the invasion of Italy.
Oh, man, don't remember.
I'll give you some time. But he was basically the head of the New York mob. Remember, they said nobody can join this club but Goombas.
Oh, yeah. There was one Jew. Yeah, I remember that. I just don't know his name. But yeah, you're right about that. Yeah.
So there it is. And again, to Phil's question, how do we organize at a grassroots level without hurting the labor class? I will say this to you, Phil. Please go read up on what Harold Washington did in Chicago. When Harold ran, he was able to, and I guess it's a matter of right place, right time and history. He was able to organize, I use the word organize, all facets. It's probably one of the largest mayoral election turnouts that I'd ever witnessed in my life. I knew the mayor. I knew him when he was a state rep, state senator. I actually had conversation with him. I never talked to him once he became mayor. I mean, on and off, but through some other people, other family members. But we can do it without hurting the labor class because we are the labor class. See, we've got to quit following everything they do. We don't need to follow. And just because they tell you the road is straight, we ain't got to follow their path. So our business model, prime example, look at policing across this country, all across the country. In every major department, they have taken business models and adapted them to police use. Here's the fallacy with that. Business acumens do not fit into public service. The idea of more with less, the idea of community policing is a great idea, but does it work everywhere? You got to have a community in order to do community policing. You got to have a group of people that say, hey, look, you know, you guys dancing or doing great moves on the dance floor are great, and they, you know, they help people feel better, but are you reducing crime?
Right.
You know, the whole idea of how they do the beat integrity across the country. We'll assign each district should have the same amount of people. When you got less crime over here, you got more crime over here, but they got the same amount of, and even again, same amount of personnel with less resources. But everything's all right because we're using a business model. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Yeah, and I'll just add to that. I'll just say this because I got a shirt on right now. I probably can't get a good look on it, but in the words of Gil Scott-Heron, the revolution cannot be televised.
I agree.
Okay? You set up grassroots. If you want to support grassroots, you don't gotta. This don't have to be a commercial broadcast. You just say, look, everybody in the community, buy from Joe's smoke shop. Okay, Joe is he's part of our community. He's gonna treat us right. You know, so it don't have to be a global broadcast. So that way, so people won't even know that transition is happening. In fact, it's better, like I said, with the Gil Scott-Heron, the revolution should not be televised. It's better if you just do it in a manner such that it's not public. You know what I mean? Because first time you go out here and say, oh, we're gonna start buying black. You better believe that the white folks are gonna go, they're gonna get all these scientists and go into a lab and figure out a way so that they can keep you as a customer and without giving you a discount. You better, that's the world we live in, man. That's it right there.
Here, let me give you that name. Meyer Lansky.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Meyer Lansky was the brainchild behind the White Sox, or as they call it, the Black Sox. Meyer Lansky was the one who went into the Jewish neighborhoods and organized for the mob the chicken, as it called, the chicken revolution. Because chickens had to be butchered a certain way at a certain time of day, and he brought it all under the mob's control. You had Bugsy Siegel, Meyer Lansky, Mickey Cone, all mobsters.
Wow. That's crazy.
If I'm lying, tell me.
Don't nobody know if you lying, man. You the fact man. Ain't nobody questioning you, man. DVP, no, ain't nobody questioning the fact.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, man. You crazy, man. Nobody doing that. Anybody goofy enough to try that? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, there's plenty.
So we got to do a better job of not broadcasting what we're going to do. Just do it. And I watch when I do come on Facebook. I watch and I notice that we love to, when a celebrity's birthday or death passes, you see 1 billion posts. We don't see these for regular people. See, this is something that we have to start doing. If we acknowledge our own, it becomes a little bit more easier to deal with our own because, again, this is free advertising. Don't get me wrong. I know people who are Prince fans, but it's crazy when I see people saying happy heavenly birthday to Prince. He don't know you. He don't know you.
Goodness, what the heck? Oh, my man. Hold on.
The Huxtables is in the house.
In the building,
Okay, hold on. Before we get started, Theo, because you clear on this one, Theo. This the one time again, you like me, brother. We totally innocent. I see Mark is in the comment section. So I got the 3 guilty fellows from last week who I want to say y'all was off the chain, but y'all were like unsupervised imps. Y'all were like, I don't know what the heck was going on with y'all. And Mark, they blamed it on you because you're the newcomer. You weren't here to defend yourself earlier. But hey man, when the finger pointing started and the feds was asking me questions, I just handed over the Facebook page.
No, it was Mark. It was Mark. I'm telling you. I look tricky. And let me just tell you.
That's cool, man.
And I am. Look, let's be clear. The difference between snitching and telling. Snitching is to save your own butt. I'm snitching.
Well, you know, my mama said, when in doubt, blame somebody who ain't there to defend themselves. That's rule number 1. Blame somebody who ain't there to defend themselves. Mark, bro, you've been thrown up under the bus. And I'm gonna tell you what they did to you, Mark. They collected your cyber fingerprints and sent them in. You know, bro, I'm just saying, I wasn't here. Theo wasn't here. We was out grinding. We was out working. So we got alibis. Even didn't nobody see us. But
one of those 2 is true. Theo might have been out working.
Theo was rearranging that kitchen. You know what I'm saying?
I can tell you right now, Mark. The deal is this, Mark. It's 3 of these people on this show that got something in common, and 1 don't. The one who don't got something in common is the guilty party. Everybody else here got a house background. One of us on a goddamn lake. All right, so you know who's lying.
Wow, I like that.
Okay. First of all, Jomo could be on the ship somewhere, and so could Mo. All you see is a door. You don't know what that door is connected to. See, and my background just says I'm outside. So Mo just said his is on the inside because what they're trying to do is they trying to avoid detection. See, I ain't hitting it, so I can be outside. So when the drones go by, I ain't panicking.
So Theo's homie background could be a slave to you. I'm just saying. I ain't high. I'm outside. Anyway, Theo, welcome to the show, man. Let me talk to a brother with good sense because I'm not messing with these soon to be felons. Because you know, one is up there with Just Smollett going to Subway at 4 a.m. when it's snowing. The other one, I don't know what the hell going. Anyway, Theo, how the hell are you, brother? I ain't even talking to these 2 men no more. What's up, Theo?
Oh my goodness.
Man, I'm good, man. I'm coming back from the water, man. I had 2 contracts and my full time, so it was just a lot. So I'm back.
Well, the room is going to be a reward offer for 3 other people. So I ain't gonna say which 3, but it was them 3. That's all I'm gonna say. So if you need some more money, brother, there's a reward for them 3.
Man, we got to rename this show. Random Thoughts with DVP and Friends.
No, and felons.
Hey Joe, you feel like a friend right now? Joe, do you feel like a friend right now? All right.
I don't know.
Felons. That's what the next show is gonna say. And felons.
DVP and felons.
Not fellows. Felons.
Yeah.
Oh, felons and friends. I got it. Okay, I like it.
Felons and friends. Yeah.
You big coming?
Okay, so let me make my point. So, because I heard a lot of different points. Black people are the most American. As far as consumerism goes, we are the most American of any group. We support whether you're black, white, yellow, whatever. And at the same time, we are the hardest on ourselves about the standard that we expect from our businesses. And I think that, even though there is a framework in place that we can look to, I think Joe said it a few minutes ago that we don't have to follow the blueprint. We don't have to follow the blueprints, but we have a basis of comparison. We have a unique position when it comes to how we participate in the market, and no other group has had to use the market to to fight for their humanity in the way that our community has. So when we discuss like the dilemma between supporting Target versus protecting the labor class or the person on the bottom, I think that'll always be like our cross to bear, because we're fighting for our humanity, and we have to use the marketplace to kind of bring people into like focus of like our humanity. And we're in those other immigrant groups that Jomo laid out. They did the full. I always say that America has they haze. We haze our immigrants, right? And typically once you cross over, the crossover is actually into whiteness. And so we see where Italians had to be hazed and they were treated as subhuman, and then they crossed over into whiteness. So now we don't readily identify a white person as Italian American or French American or whatever. Black folks are still being hazed, and so we don't have the luxury of like being able to say, okay, if we do this for this amount of time, then we can expect some kind of welcoming into the broader society. We all, our skin color runs up against that, and really we run up against that is white supremacy. And so I just think that we have to be, and here, there's a caveat to that. I don't believe in supporting black business just because they're black, but not because, not for that like obvious reason. Like I won't go out and support Tyler Perry movie just because he's black, but I will support a water boy. I will give a water boy $3 for a bottle of water before I will pay $12 to go see a Tyler Perry movie, because I know that the water boy is at a level of desperation that Tyler Perry he's no longer in, right? And I made an earlier point that to the point about black customer service. I said that's why I support the Nation of Islam. I'm buying everything from the Nation of Islam. I'm not a member, but I'm buying everything from the Nation of Islam, because to me they are the model for what we expect a customer service experience to be like, and what organization is like, and also what seeing a system that seeing them work a system, and what microeconomics looks like. To me, they are the model for that. And one beat to that is actually the Black church. We just don't give the Black church that kind of credit. And I see your face, Jomo. We can look at the Black church, and we can say how has it sustained itself under the system that we've been under since slavery? How's it done that? It's because we do actively engage and support whatever's happening at the church, whether they're selling fish plates, or whether they're just trying to gouge you for your tithes. Like we do. There's a system. That system has been in place because we do support. We support the systems that exist. We support them, and we have grace because there's a God factor in that. But that's the only space. Like Nation of Islam, they literally built everything is built around this idea that they are supporting a deity. It would be like if you could watch the early days of the church, like today, like how. What was it like for early Christians, who believed that this being was this person was a divine being, and how they had a level of allegiance and all the things. We can see that in the Nation of Islam, but the through line through all that is that they have this God element that's in place, and Black folks don't know. We don't have a system outside of that where we are, where we can just connect to it in a way that's saying that makes us have that extra kind of grace that we have for other businesses. I make a point. I've stopped supporting black excellence. I'm all for white failure. I don't even think about black excellence no more. I'm all about white failure. Do you know why?
About what? White what?
I'm all about white failure. I don't care about black excellence.
Oh, white failure.
I want black folks to be regular. I want normal, everyday black folks to not think you got to be Barack Obama. But I do point out white failure at every opportunity I get, because it is the this idea that whiteness in and of itself is synonymous with excellence that actually creates a self-defeating attitude in us. When I look at the country, the result of the country is white failure. When I go to Walmart and there's 50 aisles open, but there's only 2 cashiers, that's white failure to me. When my internet goes out, I say these white-owned businesses got to get their shit together. And I think that black people have to start turning the message about black folks don't on the system that actually produces that attitude. And so I say extra grace for us and a lot less grace for everybody else. And that's what everybody else has. These other groups, they're not special, they're not magical, they're not more organized than us. They just give themselves more grace than we give ourselves. And they're not afraid, and they're also not shy for calling out white failure. They just don't call it white failure. They call it Republican and Democrat. They call it liberal, conservative. They call it anything but white. And I'm saying black folks got to say, no, forget black excellence, white failure. I'm off white failure.
So look, that's I like that saying. But let me just say this. Because I had a small business. Notice I said had, right? Past tense, right? So, and it wasn't a fight with how business was done or customer service. It was the economic side, right? Because we had to rent from somebody, and the rent was exorbitant, and then we had to charge competitive rates, but we had to make it so that people will want to come to us. So all that to say that when it comes to business, I don't, it's not a color thing. It's not a color thing for business. However, you did say one thing that makes it color for me, and that is I'm going to give the black man, black woman, the black business, I'm going to give them an extra shot at trying to get it right than I do for a white business, because they have all the tools, they have all the resources they need to do it right out the gate. And I don't apply that peanut butter spread across the board to black businesses, because I was a small black business and it was a struggle. So right. I know we didn't get it right all the time. However, if you tell us about it, we fix it. Now if I go to a business, I tell you about it and you don't fix it, we done. It's over.
Yeah, I mean, and I have a personal example. I was going to the same dry cleaner, and it was specifically because it was black owned. I said, hey, does anybody know a black owned dry cleaner in Atlanta? Somebody referred me, right? The gentleman ended up selling the business to another black owner, and I stopped doing business with them because the attitude of the new owner, like they didn't have any integrity. I didn't, but it didn't make me say, that's wrong with black business. It's like, no, I am actively looking to support black businesses. I actually will pay a little bit more to when I can, where it's reasonable, to support a black business, because I get it, at least on some level. Like, we either are lacking the formal training, or just the access to capital. I don't think that black folks are born with like a bad customer service gene. I think that there's a real lack that links back to like these very fundamental like gaps, between us and broader society. So,
So I think this is what I think. I think it aligns directly with the stressors that come with owning a business, because white folks usually don't have to deal with those. But a small black business is dealing with stressors all the time. So guess what? If I'm stressed out, man, you come to business, I might not greet you. I might just be like, we go, have a seat, or whatever, and that's associated with the stressors associated with having to own a business and pay your bottom and meet your bottom line. But that you got to get some training so that you can manage that properly. Because if I get treated like that, I ain't coming back. And
Right.
so then guess what? I'm telling my friends. And now guess what? With this great tool that I got in front of me, this computer that I'm on, I can send out a note on Facebook, on the web. Don't go here, man. You're gonna be done pretty soon.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it pays to just go the extra mile with customer service, and then if because I've been to places where I've been to some black places, man. The product is superior, but they treat you like garbage, man, and I can't go back. And that's just that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I also like the earlier point about Target and the boycotting thing and it hurting everyday, black folk. Some there are, and you hate to put it this way, but sometimes there are always casualties of war. They're always like there's always, we don't get out of this thing. We're not going to run in the rain and not get wet, right? And so it's not to be callous and say, well, forget the folks who are working the cash register. But if the broader goal is to hold these corporations to account for how they deal with our community, then at some point we have to measure. Okay, this might cost a few of us some jobs. But one thing we do know about being working retail, you can find a retail job. And I would rather us be sending a message to a corporation by organizing than I would be overly concerned about how this is going to impact, the cashier. Ultimately, again, we're
Okay.
fighting for dignity. We're fighting for humanity. We're fighting for respect. How else do we get it? If we say they only respect our dollars, and then we continue to support them because we don't want people to lose their jobs, then what's the other recourse that we have?
Yeah.
Okay, but if we believe your theory, Theo, and I don't, because if we look at who organizes who organized the Target thing?
1%
A mega preacher who does nothing for his community. Mega preachers love to organize things, but can you tell me the last black mega church that gave loans to the lower income people while they're making millions of dollars collecting from people? Can you tell me which one did something directly for their community while they're asking the congregation to give them $500,000 so they can go to Africa? So when they're saying this, we're not saying boycott them, and they ain't doing nothing for us, but they're constantly asking for our money, and they ain't giving no service. So when we look at this, who's doing it? And it's like I said earlier, it's us doing it to us. Jamal Brown, what is he doing for the community? There's a lot of shit wrong in DeKalb County. Jamal Brown ain't nowhere to be heard or seen, but he's talking about what Target is doing. When the Black Lives Matter people came up, and they did what was convenient for them while they were trying to establish getting paid positions in other places. They wanted us to lose something while they gained something. And what have we found out about them? That everybody who started Black Lives Matter, they were all frauds. So this is all I'm saying. The people who keep organizing these, you say who gets hurt? Who got hurt? Who truly got hurt during the bus boycott? Because it was not reactive. It was organized. Most of these are not organized. When you show me one that's been organized in the past 30 years, other than the bus boycott, we're not organized, we're reactive because somebody has found a way, Jamal Brown, to get paid by saying, look at what I can do. It's a flex move, and they're using the colors to flex for them because y'all gonna do something for me, or if not, I'm gonna go out and say something bad about y'all and watch how much pull I got. Because what's the end game? Because if you look at the numbers now, Target had a lot of black-owned merchandise in there. They got more than Walmart. So what was the purpose of targeting them If they selling black-owned merchandise, they got whole sections for black-owned merchandise. Name another big box store that does that. Not Whole Foods, not Kroger, not Publix, not Walmart, not Macy's, not Nike. Target got a section for black-owned businesses to market their stuff. So that's who we really want to, because they don't have no blacks on the board. So how does that benefit us?
I would submit to you that we have to live a lifestyle of economic divestment, and instead of picking, because we can pick anybody. We can. I mean, Walmart does. They make those thicker bags from prison labor. We can pick up.
But I just told you what Target does. So why are we picking Target? I told you what Target does. So if Target is helping small black businesses, why did we pick them? They're the only ones who are notoriously helping black businesses. So why do we pick them? Because they don't have blacks on the board of directors?
Within the last how many years though? And I was just the board of directors part. See, I don't agree with the, like, there's a first, like, okay, do you have any black people on your board of directors? Okay, yes. Now what kind of black folks are they? Right, like we got to go the extra step as far as I'm concerned when it comes to representation. But at the same time, Target just did that because of the George Floyd stuff. Like they don't have like this. They're not a progressive organization. Most of these corporations are not progressive. So that I don't know that that's the I don't want to indirectly protect corporations by having a harsher critique of our grassroots movement. And I feel like we have a sometimes we can be in this state of like paralysis analysis because we think we need the perfect kind of organizing. We think we need the like it has to be able to address these specific issues, not harm anybody. Still be able to speak truth to power, and it's like, no, like, are we moving forward or not? Like the Target protest is probably given the the political climate that we are in, the Target protest is probably the only gem in this entire thing, because there's been a feeling of despair and hopelessness just based on what's happening politically, and the Target boycott is like that's that one, like, okay, we're still doing something. We're down, but we're not out. We're not going to just be given to despair. And sometimes just the movement alone, like like just being able to still feel like you're mobilizing to the end that you desire is the goal. But let me also address the Jamal Bryant thing in general.
Hold on, Theo. Let me just comment on that. So you're gonna remember, I'm older than you, man. So I'm gonna forget. I took some notes. But check this out. So first of all, you said something. First you said boycott, then you said protest. I'm gonna just tell you my opinion. I submit that it was a protest. You don't boycott nothing for one day. That's stupid. That's ridiculous. That is not a boycott, folks. If we learn anything from past history, boycotts last for a duration of time, and they're planned and prepared. So that's one thing. Second thing is, I know that protest didn't do anything because y'all know I'm the stock guy, right? Go look at Target stock and look for during the period between where we had this quote unquote protest, and see if they lost any money. All right, it's simple as that, because the bottom line of these boycott / protests is to make the company lose money, so that way they can see what changes they need to make. But I submit to y'all, just go online. It's online. Look up Target, and you'll see it. You can look at their graph, the financial graph, and see if they lost any money. I'm telling you right now, look at it and lose a dime. I'll leave it at that.
Why are they going out of their way to appeal to black churches and doing the whole? They had reached out to some others. I think it was like the National Baptist Convention. I could be wrong about that. And they offered like 75 churches $300,000 total to back off a little bit, and Jamal Bryant called him out for it, and it fell flat.
So I think
The same reason they got black. You said it yourself, Theo. After George Floyd, they did something. So they're trying to do something, and we're constantly punishing them. But we ain't said nothing to Kroger. We ain't said nothing to Walmart. So the place that's trying, because everybody saw George Floyd. So why didn't all the places try to do something different? Target tried to do something different, and then hey, well, we're gonna punish them for reacting to the George Floyd thing. That's what we did. We didn't punish nobody else who didn't do it. Nobody else. So how does it make sense? They did something. They start bringing in black. They start bringing in black businesses. Walmart didn't do it, but nobody said go after Walmart. So how are we punishing people who are trying to help us, and whether they went up or not, and they trying to help because they can write this all off. But we're sitting here, we're punishing those who help us. It's almost like whooping your kids for being honest and tell you they did something. It ain't gonna keep up, because once they take it back, then what? Then what? So now the black businesses, the small black businesses, Mo and Jomo, now where they gonna go with their product? Because they went to somebody who was willing to finally help them, and then guess who said we don't want your product because it's at this store? Black people. So what are we telling small business owners? Well, we got to check with the powers that be where we can sell our stuff so we can try to make some money, because we finally get to a big box, which is what everybody wants to do, and then we don't get sucked by our own black people who claim they're trying to make a difference. But they ain't go after no other store. Not one. Not one.
And I think that, but that isn't that like that's the Black American experience. Because if you go after everybody, you will be literally boycotting everything.
Okay, so why not pick one who ain't did nothing? Why pick one who has actually done something, even if it's reflexive? Why do we pick the one who actually did something after George Floyd? Joe, you the research expert. How many businesses changed their practices after George Floyd? So we got one that changed it, and that's the one we go after. Theo, make that make sense. We got one who responded and tried to make some changes, and we gonna go after them. Make it make sense. How many? Make it make sense. It's kind of like when we got mad at the NFL and everybody was blah 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 blah. But then as soon as Jay-Z did something, everybody got mad at Jay-Z. But then y'all want a black owner, you gotta be a billionaire. Puffy went in. Ain't too many black billionaires who are interested in it. Now everybody, oh, Jay-Z a sellout. But then y'all just said y'all wanted a black man at the table. He at the table. He got 31 minority people to make their biggest event, an all-black event. And what did we do? We turned on Jay-Z. There is no way the NFL should ever have an all-black event, a black Super Bowl. But Jay-Z talked them into it. And then who turned on Jay-Z? Who turned on it? Not the white people. They enjoyed it.
Hold on. Let me jump in there. Let me suggest that everybody take a read of the book called Shakedown. It's written by a guy named Timmerman, and it's about Jesse. It's about Jesse Jackson. And
can I say boo before you get started? Boo!
if you read this book, well, boo, I go with you.
I'm booing Jesse Jackson.
I don't know. I'm with you.
Okay.
It's two books I would suggest to read. Shakedown, and the other one is Rising Star. It talks about the making of Barack Obama. And the one about Jesse talks about in details how exactly what Theo is talking about. And you got to remember something, that this whole idea of them coming to the black churches is not a new phenomenon. From King working backwards to modern day, they've always seen our churches as being the gathering spot, and it is primarily. And if you look at the mega churches, from everybody from Creflo Dollar to your boy down in Texas, mega churches. Creflo Dollar got in front of his congregation and said, I need a new jet. And they tried to ante up for this dude. And to DVB's point, what has Creflo, have any of these guys done? I mean, they like to invoke the name of King. The biggest problem I have is that, for me, and I'm going to digress just for a second, the biggest problem I have is a hypocrite. So when these guys stand up and invoke the name of King and yet don't do the work, but you want to be remembered as an accolade, I have a problem with that. You should be struck down from the first time you put your foot on the ground because you've never done the work. So don't invoke somebody's name that has done the work. To your this idea of marketing. Shaq, and the story goes, and it's actually true. Shaq was confronted by a lady and said, you know, you put these shoes out here and nobody can afford them. He went back to the manufacturer, lowered the price, and now all of a sudden you can find them. They're nowhere near the Jordans, and he's putting the money back in the community.
But Shaq also had a harsh critique of Breonna Taylor. Like for me, like I can't, like for me, black celebrities and I'll throw black preachers in there, prominent black preachers are in an entirely different race. Like they should be regarded as another race because often the trade out for being a celebrity or having black wealth is to be subversive to the grassroots movement. Even Jay-Z, like there are very few revolutionary black billionaires, you know, and that's not a coincidence. Like there's a reason that Dr. King didn't die a billionaire, Malcolm didn't die a billionaire, because there's a trade-off that takes place as you ascend these you know the rungs of the ladder. And I think that you know, as it relates to the evangelical church is the religious arm of white supremacy, and that includes black preachers, most black preachers, most prominent black preachers. Where Jamal Bryant is different, and I'm using different lightly, is that at least in his messaging and in some of the initiatives that he has, it's not subversive to what's happening on the grassroots level. Whereas, and I grew up at World Changers, so you know, I it's complicated with Creflo Dollar. Whereas a pastor like Creflo Dollar has never been vocal about racial issues, and anytime he's mentioned race, it has always been to disparage black folk. There is no coincidence that black preachers will finger wag you for cussing, but they can refer to their congregations as the N-word. There's a certain psychology that's at work, and that's what I see play out in black celebrities. Shaquille O'Neal, Charles Barkley, Michael Jordan, all these prominent figures can be noted for something that they have done for the black community, but it just so happens that they are politically toothless. It just so happens that when we are on the verge of some kind of societal shift, i.e. George Floyd, it so happens that the same guy who decided to lower the prices of the shoes was also taking the side of the police who barged in on Breonna Taylor's home and killed her. So it's like what's I would rather you be Jamal Bryant than Shaquille. I call Shaquille O'Neal Shaquille O'Neal. Even Stephen A. Smith, like there is a common thread in that class, in that race, in my opinion, that that success in the context of capitalism and just white society at large has to come at the exchange of some part of your identity, some denial of your identity, some kind of, even Shannon Sharpe, on his shows, he always has a question of he always, when we bring on black celebrities, he would always have this one question: why don't black people support each other? It's like, dude, why are you using your platform to ask another black person that's been, where both of y'all have been platformed by black folk, why black people don't support each other? That to me, that's like, what's the psychology in that? I'm not of the belief.
Oh no, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just gonna say Shannon Sharpe can't talk, man. Y'all know who his wife is, right?
I mean, not now, but when he was, on the rise, he always made a point to do that, and I find that to be common among black people that are of any kind of status, and that's why you can't invoke King's name. That's why I don't like the Barack Obama King comparison, because Barack Obama is the chief officer of anti-blackness. He's the chief officer of it. He called black folks thugs when they were during the Ferguson rebellion. I mean, and yes, he said Trayvon Martin could have been my son, because that's true. Phenotypically, he could have been your son. But what he actually his position, his political position, is too moderate for black folks to even consider him to be some kind of champion of black advancement. And what he says rhetorically is oftentimes the antithesis of what is happening at the grassroots level, which goes back to my original question. How do black people mobilize without alienating the working class?
Okay, then hold on. Before you gear up, DVP, I saw you, but let me jump in on this one.
Yeah, and I got a comment too. I'm not the Joe DVP, because you got a lot, man. I can see that. Go ahead,
he's doing the old I'll be your Huckleberry. But here's the thing. I would challenge anybody on this board or in the chat. Please show me, where did Barack Obama come from? That's point one. I will challenge you also to, if you don't believe me, please look up the transcript at the Black Congressional Dinner when he was president, first time. He told them, and I quote, "Take off your house shoes and come on and fight." He had 3 shots at the Supreme Court. He chose to put in 2 Hispanic women, one gay, one hetero. So let me get this right. Mr. Champion of black folks couldn't find a black gay nowhere? In Chicago and Atlanta, at least?
Oh, that's crazy. That's ridiculous.
He couldn't find a person of color qualified on the hetero side? It took another white president to put a black on the Supreme Court. Now think about this. Just think about this. Both the lone black people have been put in by white presidents. What are we doing? What are we doing? And it took us 50 years to get the second one, when we had 8 years right in front of us and didn't do a thing. Now, I will say this again, I challenge you. Read Shakedown and Rising Sun, and you will understand where I'm at. Rant off. I'm off.
All right, I'm gonna say something real quick, DVP. Then it's all yours, man. I just wanted to make this comment because we're talking about the boycott, and I'll say this. To say, and we kind of talk about the church too. The church should do something, but to say a church should do something, in my opinion, is a conflict of interest, because to leverage a belief system to enact economic changes, that's a problem right there. You got to separate those two. Your belief system got to be over here. Economic system got to be over here. And they do that, and that's one of the things they do with this. And I don't want to insult anybody, but with the flag, they do the same thing. You know, you in court swearing to a flag. You got to separate. They say separation of church and state, right? So how you got a flag in court? It makes no sense to me. But anyway, rant done. Go ahead, DVP.
Charles Barkley said, I am not a role model. And every time I hear people say that athletes should do more, or anybody else who has chosen not to be a role model just because we support them, that mystifies me. Because you know who wants to be a role model? Your pastor, the one who wants to tell you what you should do with your life. Jordan, Barkley, all of them. The normal people who sin and they sin greatly, They don't try to tell you what you should do in your off time, because every time one of them does, what do we find out? We find out that they're hypocrites. What do we find out about? What's the other preacher name that liked boys, who was talking about homosexual, but he's the biggest homosexual on the block? But these are people who are soliciting money from us. They're soliciting money from us, and they're trying to speak from the pulpit and lead us. We don't hold them accountable. We say Shaq does what he does. But again, see, I know from firsthand experience, Shaq rents out a Walmart or two every year and closes it down and brings in kids to buy them things. As much as I don't dislike the guy who do all the movies that promote homosexuality, every year he picks a Walmart or two and pays off layaways. They're doing this at black establishments, whether they take the press with them or not. But they don't sit back and try to tell people what they should do, because guess what? They're not activists. They don't want to be. They just want to do some good every chance they get. So they do something. So we pick this guy, these guys who solicit money for planes to go to Africa, who won't let you in his church. He won't make you a true member unless you turn in your tax statements, because they got to verify that you're giving your 10%. We call these people leaders. When they say stuff, we jump. But when you look at Old Nasty is Old Nasty, and where is this mega church? It's on Old Nasty. But he want to go.
Rumor, by the way, that W2 thing is not true.
What's the rumor?
The tax statements. That's
no, bro. No, it ain't. No. I got 5 friends who go there. Before he will not help you with any of your bills until you get that.
Well, now I will say this, but that's most churches though. Most you cannot get your return on investment at church. Like that's why the whole tithing message is so flawed, because
but what is this? So who contributed in Africa that he needed his plane to go to?
What do you? It's his supporters. I didn't support that.
No. Joe made the stake because he said that he wanted a plane. He needed his $1 million jet, so he go to Africa. Who in Africa is gonna support any of his movement? They ain't not even 2%. Whatever. Then they should get him a plane. So these leaders, these wannabe leaders who stand up, volunteer, and they stand in front of everybody and tell you how you should lead your life. We don't hold them to the same accountability that we hold athletes who don't say shit. The one that y'all tried to hold, number 7, who is as full of shit as the rest of these. He should have been a preacher, because he didn't do shit either. He should have been a preacher. And he told us he don't support establishment. Then he signed with Nike, who got him this poster. He told us that the plantation, but I want to be a slave, and we still support him. See, people know we're stupid. We especially. All I gotta do is say the right words, and I can do whatever I want to, and y'all gonna still support me. We made his jersey hot, we made that damn poster hot, and what did he do again? He kept wanting to go back to the plantation, and we supported him going to the plantation after he called it. Well, Joe, you got kids?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so if your child came to you and say, "Daddy, I want to go to jail so I can talk to inmates and make a difference," what are you gonna say? What are you gonna say, Joe? Exactly. Don't say it because I don't want to get censored again. So we doing this, and this is what we do. And this is the people who want to be leaders. They want to be. Number 7 didn't want to be a leader till he became second string. When he was first string, his mouth was like that. He didn't say shit about nothing. When he got beat out by Blaine Gabbert, all of a sudden, oh, black people this, I can't support this a damn song because the song is what's keeping black people. Get the fuck out of here. But we sat there, we support number 7. We support numbers. What is he doing? What is he doing?
I'll tell you what he did. I don't.
He didn't do shit. Did he pay anybody's bail? Did he pay for any attorney fees? Meek Mill at least paid for attorney fees. Robert Kraft paid for attorney fees, so some unjustly accused black. Number 7 kept collecting checks. He kept collecting. He started a school for selected blacks that don't nobody know shit about, because after them 12 went to that one season, nobody knows anything. But these people they're preying upon us. They are preying upon us, Theo, and we keep falling for it. And what they tell us is, hey, LeBron is making $1 billion. We should make LeBron do something. Hey, Omar is another hoaxer. But they begging for our money to do what with? But why are we holding other people accountable who are not begging for our money, who are not trying to speak out? Jordan said, I am not a politician. Republicans buy shoes too. Jordan's a salesman. He freely admitted that. Barkley freely admitted that he is a basketball player. He is not a role model. Where are our parents who let us believe in the white Jesus for so long, even though the book says he's dark-skinned with hair of wool? But most of us grew up with a little white dude with blonde hair and blue eyes on the mantle. We got misled by people that we trusted who wanted to be somebody. And we'll hold everybody accountable except for those people. So when they lead us astray, we blame somebody else. See, Mo, we can sit in here and talk all we want to. There's a responsibility that DVP has now because I do certain things, but there's certain things I won't do. It's like somebody say, well, DVP, why you don't stand up for this? Because I don't give a shit. So just because somebody wants me to stand up for it, it's not my issue. I pick things that mean something to me. It means something to me to have us go give money to the school to pay for hungry kids' lunches while we are instead of doing all this other stuff with money. That means something to me. Even though my kid ain't in that category. That's a fight for me. A fight for me is education. That's a fight for me. Other people want other stuff. They want this, they want that. What I tell you my biggest issue was having Black mental health care or mental health care in Black neighborhoods. But other people want property. Other people want money. But who's pushing for these things? I don't have a voice in the community like that. You don't. Why ain't these mega churches, instead of soliciting for planes or soliciting to go for these, I forgot what they call these little overseas tools, why don't they solicit for mental health facilities? Why don't they solicit to do stuff for the elderly? Because they don't care. And we don't hold them accountable for that. But we're going to hell for everything according to them. But they keep wanting to call us their flock. And they keep feeding us to the wolves. And one by one, we don't ever challenge that theory. So I like when you challenging it, Theo, but who are we? We keep challenging the wrong group of people. We're not challenging the true influencers. We're not challenging the agents of change. It would be great if all these rich athletes came together and did something for the community. But guess what? Most of them got war stories to tell about the community, how people treated them. So they don't have the same interest. They're in a different tax bracket. They with a different group now.
I also think, and even though I offered a critique of them, they're, Black celebrities, again, they're not
activists.
Right. They're not activists, and the expectation should not be that they're going to be the voices of really anything, but don't be the voice against, is what I'm saying. It's like if you don't agree, great, say nothing while the other people that are mobilizing mobilize. But when you get on a national platform and you're always being subversive to what is happening on the ground level, it doesn't matter how much charity you give. There were benevolent slave owners. There were slave owners who weren't as harsh as other slave owners, but the reality is that they were slave owners, and I think that's an easy way out. I think for someone like a Tyler Perry or an Oprah Winfrey or a Denzel Washington, these people are known for their benevolence and their philanthropy, but they routinely fail the unity test or the not even the unity test. They routinely fail the support the grassroots movement. Let's speak to real issues. Let's not be subversive. Why don't Black celebrities get together and say, let's stop talking about let's stop talking about Black folks organizing. Let's stop talking against it. We're not experts. We're not trained in it. If you are a basketball player, you are an expert. If you are a professional basketball player, you are an expert in that field. So when someone puts a mic in front of you and they ask you what you feel about Breonna Taylor, next, that's not my field. I'm going to pass that mic to somebody that actually does it, instead of giving my half-baked opinion on a subject that I have dedicated no academic interest in. It's just I'm just like everybody else, and that's my only thing. We don't have to be now Black communities are different because that's sociology. They're dealing with human behavior. They should have some level of they should have an opinion about things that involve people, souls, lives. They should have an opinion that is based in a form of, some kind of. I should be able to trace your thoughts back to, an established set of,
Why?
set of theory or
Why? Why?
But
We got uninformed. Most people who saying something got uninformed opinion. So why should an athlete have an uninformed? Why should he have an informed opinion? If they asking, we all got opinions. Most of the opinions, if you look on social media, are uninformed opinions. Why do we expect somebody who is not an activist, who is not politically savvy? Why do we expect them to have to be quiet? They got freedom of speech the same way people can vote for who they want to, whether we agree with it or not. They've earned the right to have an opinion, informed or not. So why do we hold them accountable for that if we know that they're uninformed? We know that it's like asking a man about a period. We don't. Yeah, most of us are going to pass, but one of them is going to say something because that's his choice. Freedom of speech is in the Constitution. But why are we holding him accountable for that? He not a news reporter.
So let me jump in. I think. Tell me if I got this right, Theo, because this is what I heard. I think what I heard was the agents of change and they have means to make change, so they should be informed about what they want to make the change. What changes they want to make. Is that what you were saying?
I'm saying they're not agents of change. They are basketball players. They're not.
Right, they're not agents of change.
No, I didn't. No, hold on. So I didn't say they were agents of change. They're not gonna make the change. They have the means by way to make change happen. When you got financial backing that these cats have, they can do anything. Okay, so they don't need to talk. They need to find that. They need to find. I'm gonna just make it up. They need to find a Black Panther type group, fund them, and let them make the change. I think that's what I heard.
That's how it used to be. That's how Harry Belafonte, Aretha Franklin, even Sammy Davis Jr. to an extent. Black celebrities used to know their place. Like, stop thinking that you got to be all things to all people and shut the fuck up. Even if you're not giving anything, just shut up. Like, I don't own a gun, right? I am more. I don't own a gun. I am a safer person to be around than a gun owner who never shoots their gun. Like you are around me, not knowing that I don't have a gun to fuck your life up. There's somebody who got a hot head, but they don't even go to the range. And what I'm saying is, Black celebrities, especially in the sports media, and really pop culture space, they have this knack for being propped up as the voices of Black folk when they are sorely uninformed, and they never say, "Hey, I don't know what I'm talking about." Like, I would not, if somebody asked you about cardiovascular health, your knowledge of that would end probably after a WebMD search. But if somebody brought in Ben Carson, right? Ben Carson can don't need to pass the mic. But you know, Ben Carson needs to pass the mic on his views on housing, because it's not his background. So pass the mic. So I have to ask myself, what are the strings that are attached to this platform that you have, where all of these Black celebrities tend to be on message, and that message tends to subvert whatever it is Black folks are trying to do at the grassroots level.
So look, in a nutshell, this is what I say. I say, so what I do is, there's a lot of, y'all know there's a lot of noise, and we hear a lot of things and people saying a lot of stuff, right? So the way I filter it is, if you don't have the qualifications or proven track record to even be in that conversation or be in that space, I turn off. You know what I'm saying? I'm not listening to Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley about financial advice. I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not listening to Einstein or somebody else about how to play basketball. That's dumb. You gotta be an expert in the field or in the know in a particular field if you want my attention. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like DVP was saying. I think DVP was making a thing about men and, you know, understanding how a woman's body works. We all don't know, but there are some men who do know. So you got to first assess their resume. Say, okay, you know what you're talking about. Okay, I can listen to you now.
Right.
But that's something. I think that's something I had to adopt over time. I had to learn that through life. Nobody really told me that. But that's my, you know, I don't know if that's standard across the board or is this my own implementation. But I'm telling you, if you don't have the accolades or sound like you're making sense, I'll pick it up quick.
And why is it? And to that very point, why is it that when black celebrities go into other business ventures, like when Hammer went into tech, Hammer has never been appointed the voice of tech. It's always been known that I am attaching your celebrity to this product, and that you are lending your celebrity to this product. You're not Steve Jobs. You're not Mark Zuckerberg. You are Hammer. You MC Hammer. You into tech. That's what you did. You type right into tech. But it so happens that on the issue of race, they don't. It's very rare that they hand off, or they're even expected to hand off. It's like, white person put a microphone in their face, and then you're the expert because you're black. It's like, wait. No. Treat me like you would treat me if you were asking me about cardiovascular health. Treat me like you would treat me if you were talking about tech, because those are white areas, right? Those are areas that actually aren't considered to be black people aren't considered to be even capable of being experts in. But yet there are black experts in all these fields that never get the voice. But it so happens that the people who, like, why is it Mark Lamont Hill? Mark Lamont Hill should be president based on what he knows, what his academic professional background is. He should be the voice of the future as far as black issues are concerned. Why do we should not hear more? Kaepernick should not be more of we shouldn't be able to associate Kaepernick with issues of race faster than we associate a thought leader, a black thought leader. And that's LeBron James. I can say this about LeBron James. He tried, but I still want him to shut up. I'm not even saying this because for people who don't agree with with my viewpoint. I'm saying that's not your field. Like, LeBron James is a genius in basketball. He's a genius. Let him be a genius in basketball. I'm not saying you can't have your opinion, but, like, you know, I'm a casual. Like, I can watch boxing and, you know, take the duck, but I can't tell you what kind of punch combinations you throw.
You can't tell somebody to get in the Philly shell.
Right. That's all I got for you. And I'm saying, why aren't the ones who so happen to be anti-black asked to shut up and dribble? It's always the ones who are at least trying to be. It's the Kaepernicks that, like, shut up and throw. But nobody tells Shaquille O'Neal, hey, shut up and sell car insurance or whatever. He sell everything. He sell reused condoms if you give him enough money to do it. Like, he sell pizza. He sell insurance. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, I think we got to twist it, though. Just us as the public got to twist it. It's like whoever's popular and whoever we like, they use those people to get our attention to sell whatever they want to sell. That's right. The game. That's the name of the game, right? Because who's bigger on this earth than Shaq? Somebody like a Shaq, right? You probably got a 10-year-old. If you got kids, your 10-year-old kid know who the hell Shaq is. You know what I mean? And it's just like, that's crazy. Right.
But and why is that on? That's on us again. At some point, when that mirror pop up, we got to hold us accountable, because Bill, you got kids, I got kids. So at some point, we have to stand and be the role models. We have to teach them things so they don't have to go out and keep looking for these people. I know plenty of people who look straight to their parents. They accept these other people for what they are. They don't hold them in that high esteem. But guess who holds them in this high esteem? People who grow up with parents who hold these people in this high esteem. Because, well, damn, that's who my mama look up to. I'm gonna look up to them too. Because the parents don't want to accept their role. So again, when the whole white Jesus thing came up, I didn't want people to be mad at their parents. Their parents did the best they could, but they still lied to us, because most of them told us they read their book, they did this, but not only the church promoted their white Jesus, the preachers promoted their white Jesus. It was a perpetual thing. And if we know better, that's where the miseducation of the Negro came from. It didn't come from white people. It came from us not wanting to read. And as soon as somebody say something, we would pass it along like it was fact, even though it was easy. Even then, since everybody read the Bible, it was easily checked, but nobody would challenge authority. So now we know who is who. So if we do better as parents, as a collective race, we don't keep needing these people to speak out for us, because as we start forming cliques, the cliques will do better. Cliques become gangs. Gangs become society. Society becomes the majority. But we have to start doing it individually, because I have my issues. Phil, you got the ones that are important to you. Mo got the ones that are important to him. And you can't make me realign mine to fit yours. What you can do is just push yours and find people who align with you. Again, if in the 21st century, if Malcolm and Martin were here together, if you didn't support one, you'd be a sellout. Because we don't seem to be able to support two people who have different ways of getting there. We want somebody to give us all that we want, and nobody will ever be 100%. You know, I am an Obama fan, but I also know that he didn't do everything he could, but we didn't help him either, because we didn't understand politics. As we became more astute, I mean, the reason Donald Trump can run rampant and reckless is because, again, he has people who can help him promote that BS agenda. And like we talked about last week, we still don't want women saying nothing. Because what's the lady name we talked about who always raising hell with everybody? What's the lady name, Mo?
White lady?
No, the black lady.
Oh, I gotta.
Yeah, you know, what's the black lady?
Jasmine Crockett.
Jasmine Crockett raising hell with everybody. But how many people you see trying to push her to the front? We still see Hakeem Jeffrey, Hakeem, whatever his name is. He what is he doing? But he's the face. But he ain't raising no hell. When Cynthia McKinney was raising hell and they censored her for telling the truth, you didn't see nobody that looked like us, nobody that had our gene stand up for her. We have to do a better job of promoting the right people and putting them in position. And it's crazy. It's like arguing with a trumper. If you use facts, they don't want to hear it. If you use non-facts, they already beat you. So you're having an argument about who's the stupidest, and you're trying to win a stupid argument about who ain't going for logic. When we're trying to do certain things, and yeah, I do pick on some preachers, because I've seen too many of them who to me, they abuse their power. And you know, I asked a couple of them, when it's election season, y'all run these people in here that y'all want us to vote for, but when they don't do what they said, y'all don't bring them back in here for us to ask questions. I find that hypocritical, because you told me this. So if I tell you, Theo, that so-and-so is the best restaurant, you going there because I said so. And when it ain't, oh, well, I liked it. It was good for me. Okay, so how many times you going to keep taking it from me? But I'm the leader. So you're doing this. But here come, what's the name? Shaq talking about do whatever pizza. Oh, let's get that pizza because that's Shaq's place. What do? We love as a race. We love helping millionaires make more millions. We won't help a commoner make 1,000. We will sit here and
you just got done saying, "Oh no, let me call you out on your hypocrisy," because you just got done saying the new black brand should not be expecting us to support the established brands because they're new. But
no, that is not what I said. Don't misquote me. I said you can't hold them to the same thing. A new shoe brand shouldn't come out and say we're as good as Nike. That's what I said. I said that's what they're trying to do. So if Nike charges $1,500 for a shoe, Theo can't come out with the Theo ones and say $1,500 because mine is good as Nike. That's what I said. Because I will support black people, but it has to make financial sense to me too. I'm not going to go broke to help you because you don't have a good business model and I got to pay. Remember I told y'all the story about my friend that had the bookstore. He wanted me to come buy a book. I wanted to support him. It's a 42-mile drive. The book he wanted me to buy was $28. Up the street, it's $7. So you want me to drive almost 100 miles round trip and then pay 4 times the amount to support you? I can't do that in good conscience. We still got to eat. You're talking about my time. Well, you know, I can't get the cheap rent. Like, yeah, you asking me to support something because you had a bad business brand. So no, you can't do it because it's the same damn book, regardless of which store I go to. So I can go 2 blocks in 5 minutes and still save money and time, why would I go to him? Just to, because now his family gonna eat. Well, what mine gonna do? They can't eat the book. So at some point when we're doing business models, we have to know who our clientele is. And yeah, if I'm in the area, that's fine. But I ain't never just in Lawrenceville, because Lawrenceville ain't for me. I ain't never just in Lawrenceville. So when we're doing stuff, if a black business open up on Old Nasty, there's a good chance I ain't going to, but I ain't going to no business on Old Nasty. But if I was gonna go to one, I eat at Tropical Cuisine on Old Nasty. It's a minority business. I like there. I will eat there before I eat a lot of. They got great food. I will eat there before I go to Olive Garden or one of these other places. The price is great. They give you great portions.
Why don't you go get your hair cut at a white barber?
Why would I go get my? Oh, see, when you throwing shots at me, I don't get haircuts.
Okay. Have you ever had a white man touch your head when you did
No.
have hair?
No.
No. So it didn't matter what.
Well, in the military, but I didn't have a choice.
Okay. So unless you had the same black barber for 35 years, however long you had hair, it never crossed your mind to go ask a white man to cut your hair. Why?
There were none where I was getting my hair cut.
No,
And I went for the drive.
It's because you number one, that's what you saw. That's what we see, and it is assumed that black people.
I ain't going for that. That's your thing. If I would have saw one in a black barbershop when I was going, because I didn't have a barber, I just went to the barbershop and whoever was there and cut my hair. Hell, there's only 2 women who cut my hair, but guess what? They were at barbershops. So my thought is, if you work at a barbershop, you can cut hair. I never saw a white barber in a black barbershop.
Supercuts. Why you go supercuts?
Why would I go to Supercuts? You got to make an appointment. You know, color.
But that's the point I'm making. Like there are.
I had a girlfriend who went to Supercuts.
There are certain areas that we just assign a level of expertise to, because we know that black folks know black hair, right? So you would trust somebody that's in barber school over a white barber that's experienced with your hair. Why?
Not if he got black looking hair, I would. Now if he got straight hair looking like the dude from First Take, no. But if it ain't that serious, because I ain't never get no special design. But shit, remember now, I worked for the Bronner Brothers. I seen white boys who could cut hair, so I didn't have that. I didn't have that illusion.
Hey.
But I never saw one where I would go, because I never had a consistent barber.
But they exist just like there are black folks and there are black experts in tech and medicine.
But your question was why I didn't. You tried to change my answer. My answer was I never saw one. It wasn't because I had no preconceived notion. Now,
okay.
If somebody,
why do most? Okay, let's zoom out. Why do most black people get their hair cut, their hair done by most black people?
Okay, let me just flip this for you 1 minute. Okay, because I'm act like I believe what you're saying. But why do most black people get their feet and nails done by Asians? Because it's black people who do it, but we don't go to black people for it. And everybody complain about them Asians hurting our feet.
Because that's what we see. I mean, but it is assumed that they have a level of expertise, and because that's what we see.
Oh, because everybody complain about them. Everybody complain about them Asians.
There's no way we're all complaining if they've been in business. There's no way.
You're right. Because you know why? Because they're in our neighborhood. They're easy to get to. They're easy to get to.
They're easy to get to no matter what they charge, no matter the customer service experience, no matter.
Bro, they in every little strip mall in the hood.
Right. But
you can ride your bike to them.
It's not because they offer superior service.
But they not at they not at the big malls. They're not even close to the big malls. They come to the hood. So they can do that because they know what we do. Anyway, man, said talk. Y'all finna get me in trouble. Give me some parting words, as you done got me. It's 8:01. I just sent y'all a message. We got 10 minutes left, and you still made me do it. What you got to say, troublemaker? And I'm talking to you now, Theo.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Is your podcast on hold while you doing your thing?
No, I'm getting it all going again.
Okay.
Man. So yeah, follow Chasing Huxtable. It's not much there right now. Follow Chasing Huxtable on all platforms. That's all again.
See what he just did. He told y'all to follow him, then said it ain't much. You can't tell people that, then give them a disclaimer why not to. Man, listen. Listen, next week I'm gonna have 2 white people and an Asian because I'm not messing with you colors no more. What you got, Mo? Help me out. Don't give me something good and follow with a negative. Get the negative first and end up with good. You seen the 3-minute manager. You start with the bad shit and end up with the good shit.
I only got something real quick. So first of all, DVP, we started talking about the Asians. Asians are a stopgap. I need you to put that on the agenda so we can talk about that on the next show.
Write it down because I'm all of them forget. I'm older than you.
I got it right here. I wrote it down,
Okay.
brother. That's the only reason why I remembered it. And now I want to say this. We talked a little bit about Malcolm and Martin, and this is my philosophy. This ain't a global philosophy. This is my philosophy. I believe Malcolm and Martin were both right. We needed them both in order to get where we are today. It wasn't like one was right and one was wrong. They was both right. I'm leaving it at that.
All right, so y'all know this. It's Random Thoughts with DVP. Hey, hit me with the inboxes. Mo, I know we're supposed to do something, so hold that too. And we're gonna talk about Asians, and we're gonna go from there. Theo, what you gonna you're a little bit more steady now. You're gonna be able to show back up. We need your useful we need your useful energy to come to the show.
He didn't do that on the show, did he?
And plus, I need somebody who ain't tainted to be on these dudes' shoulder because they Lord, they don't know how to act. They don't know how to act. So Theo, hey, I'm passing the baton to you. I'm passing it to you, Theo. Don't act like you don't know what's going on. Folks, y'all know what it is. It's Random Thoughts with DVP. I didn't get to drink all my Arizona that I want y'all to start buying from me because I'm gonna overcharge y'all because I'm black. I want y'all to buy from me. Mine gonna taste a little bit better. I'm gonna use some black produced ice. So for $6, you can get one too. All right, and I will come to your car and put it in the window for you. Just drive by the house.
That's
All
worth
right.
it. That's worth it. That's worth the $6.
Say it again.
I said that's worth the $6.
You know what I'm saying?
That's different. That's different.
Theo said he support the water boys, charging the water way too damn high. But that's a whole nother show. All right, so until next week, y'all know this, right? Peace, popcorn, and chicken grease, and we out.
Let's go.